Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and in this video I wanted to do an unboxing and overview of this air duster. This one's by Euki. It's the way they're calling it, Superpower Turbo Fan, which, I mean, that sounds like something that Mark from Classic Game Room would use as a title. So that's funny. But you can see here the specs. Let me get this plastic off of it. As you can see, it's using a brushless motor, so it should have overheating protection. It's quite a high boost there for RPM, so hopefully this moves a lot of air. A 5,000 milliamp hour battery, 4 hours on level 1. As I've used other ones in the past, usually the top, most powerful one you usually don't need. Just enough to get whatever material you're trying to move will work. So hopefully those low power ones are higher enough to get the job done, so you can get that better battery life. Pretty good packaging. I'll study this a little bit off camera, but I'll show it now so if you're interested in the product, you'll know what all it's capable of. And there you go. So for English. Alright, here's the duster itself. Nice and compact. Fits right in the hand. Get to it a little more here in a moment. So for charging, okay, it's on this. So it had C to USB A. So that's not like super fast charging where it's C on both ends, but it is at least connects with C. And then you get this cleaning set. See what's in here. So there's a bag. Okay, everything actually comes in this bag, and you should be able to fit. And I actually really like the material. It's almost like a Crown Royal bag. Usually they're like a hard plastic or like too scratchy. Where this is really soft. So I mean, it has nothing to do with the product itself, but it's nice that it's a soft bag. So then you get some different cleaning tools. None of these are attachments for the device itself, which I'll touch on here in a moment. So it's just a lot of various brushes. You could probably use something like this to clean the keys on your keyboard or something, to like dig them out if you don't want to remove the keys, and then blow the remainder off with the duster itself. Alright, so keep all that in the bag. Kind of overkill on every type of brush size and dimension you could have, but I'll take it. Now, one thing I'd like to point out is a lot of these are kind of replicating how compressed air would work. So they have a nozzle coming out of them, and it gives you more of a pinpoint tip. None of the ones I've ever used have like just that absolute little tiny precision that a can of compressed air would have. But this one's going in a completely different direction, where it's basically just a port. It's like, I think this is more of a blower. Certainly it'll blow some dust, but it'll probably be heavier dust. The purpose I'd like to use this for is just to blow like bigger things, like on a car, if you're cleaning an engine bay and you don't want some water to sit on the top of it or something. Compressed air in that situation, that little tiny nozzle isn't ideal. So I think this might actually be able to move a larger portion of air, similar to like compressed air. Even though they have that smaller nozzle, they kind of have a wider pattern depending on what end you use. But I think this might work a little better for something like that. So you can see here the charging port's Type C. This is your mode switch, and I believe this is the power switch. Quite an interesting looking logo there. I'm not sure how much I endorse that, but Get it up there too, so don't demonetize me, please, YouTube. That's not my call. Okay, so after looking at the instruction manual, since on this one you're using two separate buttons, this is your power button, and yeah, this is where you also change your modes. So 3's turbo mode, it's the most powerful, 2's medium, and 1's kind of like your eco, your efficiency mode. So this will turn the device on as far as getting it ready to use, and you can select your mode with it. This is the actual to engage the fan, the blower. So this is the low mode, but I mean you can feel it, but and then you can turn it back off from here, on, off. Now you can't change the modes. You have to, it'll turn off first, then you can come back to changing the mode. So it has to kind of shut off before you. So this is medium. You can see much more powerful. And the turbo mode is really loud and really powerful. So again, here's 3 lights for turbo. Now this one you have to hold it down. I think it's because you get way less battery life. I think it's like 10 to 15 minutes or something. So ideally you would use this just to do a couple of quick things and then switch back to maybe, I think the medium would do the best for most applications. But and again, that one you have to hold the button down. And there is some LED lighting in there. Let me switch back to medium. And I also noticed this comes off. It's just magnetic. So I suppose you could even use this as a portable fan. I mean, it's kind of concentrated. It's not ideal for that. But the fact that, you know, if you had something that was about eye level with you or something, and you could set it and use it like that, but I think I'll be using it with this. That's kind of a neat idea. I would like to see either some attachments that go into here, or maybe a few of these instead of all those brushes. Just a couple of these. 'Cause I really like this magnet fit. It's a pretty good idea. It looks like something Apple would do almost. Instead of that friction fit where you gotta push things on and off. Have a few options for different attachments on these. And I'll also say this one does not have a vacuum function. Some of them do. It basically just would pull from this end. This is your air intake, and there's no provision to do that. You can see this isn't made to, it won't adhere like it will on this side. So then shut it back off. It'll shut off on its own after 3 minutes of inactivity. But you can also just hold the button. And then these will also work as your charging state light when you plug it into a power source. And for a quick demonstration, I think it would work a little better for like detailing. So I'm gonna try. It seems to do pretty good. Again, with the wider opening, instead of having like the precision, you can kind of get a larger area. Go try it on turbo now. Obviously it helps if you wax your cars like this, but that's kind of the point. Like if I was doing a panel and it got wet and I needed to redo it or something, this would do a pretty good job of blowing that away. But even on the medium setting, it still works pretty good. What I probably would use it for. So I mean, it's pretty impressive. It's the amount of air it can push out. At the price where it's not too, crazy expensive or anything, and compared to buying cans of compressed air, it'll pay for itself in no time. I think it's definitely worth checking out again. In my application, I view it slightly more as a blower. I really think it's going to be best for moving some water off a car, if you need to like wax a panel or something. I don't know if you'd want to do a whole car with it, because it is the size of it. But again, to just do a panel, or if you're wanting to clean an interior and you got some dust down in a door pocket or something, or some hair, that'll blow it right out for you. You won't have to bring out your air compressor. So there is some versatility to this, and again, it's different from a lot of other ones. It's not as concentrated at the tip, so I just see it more as a blower, and it does provide enough power to be used that way, and in a really small form factor. So as long as that battery life's good, which on turbo, but you really don't need turbo too much. I think on those other modes you're going to get enough battery life that it will be a useful product. And I do like a few of these differentiating features that the Euki has that other ones don't. So again, for me, I think it's kind of a nice portable blower more than anything. So I'll be using it on my car and just maybe in the workshop area. I think it's a little bit better than the ones that are more of a tip on the end. So it's nice to have both options, but for this one, I really think it's a nice alternative. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.